Hello, Aries. This is your 2017 tarot reading for the entire year. So what you will see is that I am going to lay out 12 cards. They don't necessarily represent each month, but they are together going to tell the story of what's in store for you for the new year. Okay, so I'm cutting the cards. Okay, so let's get started. Your first card is Wheel of the Year. How appropriate, right? The Wheel of the Year, a major arcana card, is about changes, things turning over, new seasons. So I think that's very appropriate to begin the new year. I'm going to lay out 3 rows of 4 cards. So I'm in the first row. I have the 5 of Cups. So as you shift into the new year with this Wheel of the Year, there are a little bit of regrets. This is water. Cups represent water. So maybe it's not you, maybe it's another person, or maybe it's both of you. But we're going into this dealing with feelings of loss. Maybe there are things you're going to need to leave behind in 2016. And then there's a 3 of Cups reversed. Maybe there are friendships and relationships that have been reversed, clearly. So I'm already starting to see that the beginning of your year, for the first few months, it will be about dealing with changes in relationships, changes in feelings that you won't be able to avoid. And this is interesting. Now we have the 2 of Cups. So this is interesting, Aries. I do not know why Cups are showing up for you all of a sudden, because you're fire. But I think you're going to be dealing a lot with relationships. I get a sense that when you look at the 5, the 3, and then the 2, the 3 and the 2 add to 5, right? Interesting. Also, I think it's interesting that in the 5 of Cups, there are 3 cups lost, 3 cups reversed right here, but there's still 2 cups standing. Still got 2 cups right here. So I think this is interesting for you. The tarot is definitely sending you a message, Aries, that in the midst of this regret, the tarot is saying you still have this 2 cups. There's been a lot of loss with friendships and relationships, but there's still something very special with another person here. So I love it when there are little threads that fit together here, that you have 5 of Cups, and then you have a 3 and a 2, which add up to 5. But even more interesting is that in the 5 of Cups, you see those 3 cups that are lost, that have spilled, which is that 3 of Cups here, missing a friendship, and then the 2 of Cups that remain. There's still a chance for a relationship. There's still something to build on. So I think emotionally, there's definitely going to be a reattachment, that if you thought that this was about loss in 2016, it looks like whatever you lost, whatever, if you feel regrets or you feel sorry, it looks like there's a special relationship that's going to be recovered. There's going to be a reconnection here. Okay? And that's what I'm thinking. The reconnection is telling me from the 5 of Cups with those 2 cups here. The 2 cups show up again, that there's something that you weren't seeing before, or there was something that maybe you had to apologize to someone or make something up with someone, or they needed to make something up with you. But whatever it is, I think there are going to be some relationships you leave behind, but at the same time, there are going to be relationships that you gain. The next card, I have a Six of Cups. Wow, Aries. The card of memories. Memories of the past, memories of family. I have a Four of Cups reversed. Wow. And you should know that I really shuffled these cards. I shuffled them, I put them in a bag, and I jumbled them all together after the last reading, which was Pisces. I have a King of Pentacles, 5 Cups in a row. And then I have a Six of Swords. So you have like 2 sixes here. And sixes are all about healing. It's about reestablishing, refocusing. This is interesting here because now we have a Six of Cups, which is about fond memories and affection, missing someone. Then we have a Four of Cups reversed. Usually this is the card where someone's emotionally detached. They're just like, I don't want to be bothered. I'm pulling away from this situation emotionally. And note, there are 3 cups. He's not happy with the 3 cups. And then there's someone offering another cup. So all of this is about, it just seems to be about this reconnection, offering of a cup. 2 people mutually giving each other cups, and then you get an abundance of cups. And then we're no longer emotionally detached. So this definitely seems to be about rebuilding relationships here, getting in touch with our emotions. And I don't even see any wands yet. And so far, the only major arcana card you have is this Wheel of the Year, this Wheel of Fortune, this card about fate. And so I think this is just falling into place here for you. But we come to this King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, it can represent a man or a woman. It's more about the energy. Kings rule. They master things. They are in charge of things, usually with money. But it can represent someone who's very practical. Very good with prosperity, happiness, abundance, all the good things in the material world. And then we go to a Six of Swords, which is interesting because now we're looking at traveling over water. You should consider this oar in his hand. He's got swords, but he's also traveling over water, emotions. So water seems to be very significant for you, Aries. And then he's got this wand, so to speak, to get to another destination. So maybe what's coming together for you, especially with this King of Pentacles in play, is just a lot of emotional detachment and regret and missing someone and emotionally just being so mixed up. And maybe there's a Pisces person. Maybe this isn't just about you, but someone with water energy who's turning your world upside down, that you've had such a long history with this Six of Cups. And so you're just trying to really figure this out. And I just said this for Pisces, who had wands in the reading. And I'm like, maybe you and a Pisces are trying to work things out. But there's someone definitely with water energy that you've had a lot of turbulent times with. And so this just isn't about physical travel over water. It can be about emotionally traveling. And you're using your fire energy, you're using the wand to get to that place. Okay? So this story, I use that in quotes because I know it resonates with so many real lives here. It just seems to be about rebuilding a relationship. And you trying to, I think, at least protect yourself because maybe this person hurt you. Which is why I think this Three of Cups is upside down. Okay. So let's go to Eight of Cups. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups, Aries. Water is so important for you, your emotions, your feelings. This is about someone who leaves something behind, an emotional sacrifice. They go on a journey to find themselves. Maybe this is the other person. I get a sense that what's coming through so far in your story is a Pisces energy. Not Pisces, a water energy, because it could be Cancer or Scorpio. This person is just really trying to figure out what they want. And I actually said that for Pisces in the previous reading. You should look at that if you are connected to a Pisces. That this is about someone that you would love to build a life with. But they emotionally, they just keep pulling back. They come forward, they miss you, they come back, they pull back again. And the Six of Swords is indicating that maybe it's too much for you. I have Death in reverse. Now, the Death, the card of Death, pretty much doesn't mean physical most of the time. This is about complete closure, an ending. And you see the fire here, right? I think that's significant for you. And you see this young boy offering flowers to Death. We go from Death, but then you see this young person, this hope, the white flowers. Now this is reversed. So maybe things are not quite coming to a close with the water energy person here, even though they're emotionally mixed up, even though the relationship is so emotionally mixed up. Now we have the Emperor. This is your third major arcana card. The Emperor is about taking charge and ruling. Notice he's got a scepter in his hand and a globe. And he does rule overall. He's about order. But it also, when I get the Emperor is also about rules that cannot be broken, limitations, an authority figure, someone who is dominant. And I think that this is more about the circumstances you're dealing with as far as this situation that I'm looking at here. And then your last card, I have a Queen of Swords in reverse. And that is interesting. Once again, this can be a man or a woman. It doesn't have to be a specific person in your life, but it can definitely mean when a Queen of Swords is reversed, we're talking about swords being intellect, communication. When those are reversed, you might be dealing with someone who's very paranoid, very jealous, very abusive, very vindictive. Because swords represent decisions and judgment. Anything that requires our intellect, anything involving our psychological energy, our mental energy, that's swords. And so when it's reversed, it can also mean mentally someone is just not in control. They might be jealous, they might be vindictive, they might even be a little paranoid in extreme cases. So there seems to be, towards the end of the year, a lot of mistrust, especially with the Six of Swords. Remember what I said about the Six of Swords here, that I saw you with this oar, which represents the wand, really trying to get to a better place emotionally. And so as you were trying to heal, then we have the water energy, this person detaching, leaving, but not necessarily closing the door. And then we have limitations. So when I put your major arcana cards together, we go from changes and shifts. We go to dealing with the losses and recovering the losses, where this Two of Cups signals trying to make this union work or trying to find harmony and balance emotionally. We go to missing someone. We go to this emotional reconnect. Someone is coming forward. They might have missed you. Maybe this Pisces person really did miss you, and they're taking the cup that you're offering. And so that's when we get to, in the middle of the year, I see it as this person needing you for some reason. And then we have a King of Pentacles, which is not just financial prosperity, but it can also represent in a relationship reading, because I know a lot of you are interested in what happens with relationships. This King of Pentacles is about making a material life together work as well. Not just necessarily a person, because I'm looking at this Queen of Swords and I still don't see wands here. I think that a lot of this has to do with making a life with someone, a material life with someone, either living with someone or making or having a relationship with someone. And so that's when we get to the Six of Swords, where I think a lot of this, especially with the Eight of Cups, it's about finding emotional balance and healing. And it could very well be, from another interpretation, this Six of Swords is indicating that there might be a leaving behind, because this is about traveling and this is about traveling as well, this Eight of Cups. So together, the Six of Swords and Eight of Cups is telling me there are going to be physical shifts where someone might need to leave. And it could, both of you and this other person, as far as a relationship reading, both of you decide to leave or move to a new place, or find to mutually decide, okay, let's just take another break. This Death card is indicating that things are not going to end, but at the same time there's still limitations. So these changes indicated by the Wheel of the Year are indicating that whatever relationship you have, Aries, you're going through a lot of emotional shifts with someone. And near the end of the year, what's going to end up happening is more challenges to overcome, but also you and this other person building trust. That's how I'm choosing to interpret this Queen of Swords here. That for some reason, being able to trust this person, open up, you and this person mutually being able to trust each other and communicate without it becoming a situation where you two hurt each other. That is one interpretation for why I see this Queen of Swords as the last card here. Okay? So things might seem to go up and down for you. It seems as if you might be really emotionally attached to someone. All of these cups here, half of your cards are cups. It's telling me that there's a very strong energy either with another person or the situation with this person. A lot of emotional ups and downs. And it seems as if the story, as it turns out through the year, is that the makeup breakup, and then you get near the end of the year and you're like, okay, this still isn't going to work. Back to the drawing board. At the same time, it seems as if there are going to be some trust issues that you may need to deal with. Now keep in mind, this is a general reading for the entire year. So if I needed to sum up your story, makeup breakup is one interpretation, but also, Aries, it seems to be about finding your passion again and not being afraid to do what you need to do to really be happy with or without this person. Because I do see someone who's very mixed up, who's giving you a lot of grief here. And you're going to be going through a lot of ups and downs. So just take that into consideration. Okay? So thank you so much for your support throughout the year. I'm wishing everybody a happy new year, and I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. If you're interested in getting your own reading or your own video, just check out the description of the video, and I hope to talk to you soon.